So for the past few days, I've been going over my kids' reading list, the required Texas reading lists. What this did was it led me down this rabbit hole of, American literacy rates. Over half of Americans have a reading level under the 6th grade level. I got to wondering, why is that? Over half of Americans aren't dropping out by the 6th grade. They're just, their progression in reading is stopping right there. Why is that? And so I have a theory and I want to run it by y'all. The 6th grade is when I really got into reading. I mean, the 6th grade, I can pinpoint the moment that I became this book lover. And for me, like so many other people, it was when we read Harry Potter as a class. And so I'm going over the reading list requirements, for my oldest one, his high school requirements. And I started noticing a theme in all these books that they want these high schoolers to read. They are all boring as shit. Don't get me wrong, they're great books. Talking about books like Of Mice and Men and To Kill a Mockingbird, these were all great books, but they're great books for adults. Of Mice and Men is not going to spark the imagination of a 13-year-old. That's not going to happen. Oh, but Chris, those are classics and they're wonderful works of literature. Yeah, maybe. But the problem here is that a teenager who has 8 different subjects during the day, they're going English, science, math, history, athletics, and all their electives. They don't want to sit there and read a book in their spare time that is 300 plus pages long of barely moving along in a story with like 20 pages of actual interesting stuff. Like, they are not philosophers, they are not adults, they're children. 15, 16 years old, they're still kids, man. And what do you need to do to keep kids interested in something? Find out what they're interested in and push that forward. So why are we not letting these kids pick their own books? I understand that you're going to have some who try to get away with something stupid or small or whatever. The point is, if you can find out what genre interests these kids, maybe they'll get excited about reading. Maybe they don't stop at the 6th grade level. And it goes back to this cookie cutter thing that we have going on in public schools, where my graduating class was nearly 1,000 people back in 2007, and every single one of us was required to read the same books. How does that make sense? Think back to elementary school. What was one of the greatest things your reading teacher could say when it was time to go to the library? We're having a free day at the library. Everybody go pick something you like. If you were tired of reading the boring bullshit they gave you. It doesn't matter if you're reading Shakespeare, Hemingway, Rowling. It doesn't matter. As long as you are reading. Reading is reading. And the more you read, the better you get at it, the better your comprehension is. So why do we care so much about what they're reading as long as they're fucking reading? I'm pretty sure it's just because they want to be able to say that our high school kids are reading great works of literature. Who gives a shit? Let them read what makes them happy. Let them read something that when they go home, they're excited to curl up in a corner and read a book. Find something that makes a kid who's only read 2 books in his life go, I don't know what happened. I picked up this book, I started reading, and I sat here all night. I didn't sleep. This is not good. That's awesome. You can get a kid to really invest in a story. That's the whole point. What's more important? That you have a great reading comprehension level when you go out into the adult world after high school, or that you can name every element on the periodic table? Why do we not have a book list with every genre? Why is there not a fantasy book list? Why is there not a horror book list, a suspense, a thriller, a whatever, for these students to choose from and actually find something they're interested in and keep feeding them those things? Start identifying what they love and continue to feed those things to them. I might be completely off base here, but that's just what I've been thinking about. We got to find a way to get our kids excited about reading. Let me know what you think.